Hi, everybody. This is my Module 5, Understanding My Community. In my school, it's called Lycée Jean-Baptiste Pointe du Sable. It's a school in St. Mark, Haiti. All right, so no customs and traditions. One of the things that we do here at our school is that we don't test our kids. It's one of our things here that we don't do that I don't quite agree with. We don't test our kids in any way, and it's actually quite bizarre. But just because Haiti is, it's that type of country that you have to test in order to prove your competency. I know that in school, yes, children they are competent and sometimes they don't do well on tests. However, standardized testing is what gets us, what we need to know about a certain community or a certain school district. So, for instance, like we just had our sixth graders, they went ahead and they took the Haitian National standardized tests for sixth grade, and many of them did not pass. And I believe that the reason for this is because they were not prepared for it. Another thing we do is that we have a annual field day for the students and their parents. So the parents come and they take their kids and they go about the school to the different stations that the teachers and the assistant teachers host um, fun activities. So every year in February in Haiti, we celebrate Carnival. In Carnival, it's basically a really big parade where people dress up and they dance and they act and they do all types of performances also. And it's such a big thing here that schools are normally closed for at minimum a week. We also celebrate our Flag Day. We allow our kids to come to school dressed in creative flag outfits and or the flag colors. We also commemorate January 12th, which is the date of the earthquake that happened here in Haiti that killed hundreds of thousands of people. We commemorate that day. That's one of our traditions. The school takes all of its staff to a catered beach day. So many of the staff that work here at the school, I never really get a chance to interact with them unless we go to this beach day together. It's always in passing. You say hello, but you never really get a chance to see that person unless you make an effort outside of school hours. Um, One main habit of the people here that I've noticed is that they are really attached to social media. Whatever it is, whatever new thing or whatever that's it, they are on it. So any type of social media, Facebook, Twitter, anything that you can think of, they are on it. So at my school, we don't teach students about religion. We believe that it is the parents' job to teach their child about their religion of preference. The school is about 95% Black and 5% Caucasian. The origin of the economics is donations. The people of the community are all low class, so they're all considered lower class Haitians, but the donors are owners of large, well established businesses across the globe. Um, because one of our co-owners is the CEO of Estee Lauders, and the other one, he owns multiple businesses um, globally. The curriculum that we have, I don't want to say that it's based off of a sister school in New York, but it somewhat supports us in a way because all of the teachers here, we create our own curriculum for our own classes and our own levels. So we just use the curriculum of the Lycée Français in New York as a guideline to what kids are supposed to learn at that particular grade level. However, we tweak it to match whatever's needed here because for instance, I can give you an example. Like it doesn't snow in Haiti, so it may talk about like one progression may be to talk about snow and how it relates to winter. That doesn't just doesn't work here. It doesn't snow in Haiti, so that couldn't be something that I could use. However, just something along the progressions of what kids are supposed to learn in kindergarten or what kids are supposed to learn in third grade, for instance. We kind of use it, but that's something that's fairly new because I didn't have this curriculum um, thing that I could kind of branch off of and get help. I created my own curriculum for pre-K and kindergarten based off of my prior knowledge and research that I've done. So change is not commonly accepted here, simply because the head of our school, he is really he's not about change, and he definitely means well. I'll give him credit for that, and he does try. However, it's not enough because we really do need change here. No population characteristics, education level. About 70% of the people living right outside of the school, they have never been to school. Um, 20% have reached 12th grade, and about 10% has at least made it to fourth grade. 17 out of the 20 kids in each class is from the community. The additional three from each class, they come from surrounding towns or from the city. There are mostly people from the age range of 25 to 40. People grow old here, and that's one remarkable thing that I've noticed while living here is that people, it doesn't like age really does not affect them as much. You see 85-year-olds climbing coconut trees to get coconuts, cutting trees down, cooking, you like whatever it is that a young person would do, you see old people doing it. So they definitely do grow gracefully here. There are way more women here than men, and I would say that the ratio is about 3 women to 1 man. Most people in the community they don't work. They grow their own crops for profit. And some of the things that they grow: tomatoes, mango, spinach, okra, eggplant, watermelon. Those are just a few things that they grow so that they can at least sell and they can have money to do whatever they need to do, take care of their family, repair their house, whatever it is. There's a lot of social tension here at my school. Mainly because of the head of the school and his communication problem. It's just how he talks to people sometimes it may come across as a bit abrupt or rude sometimes, but I know that he does mean well, and I know that it's just him. And one of the things that he likes to say is that he barks, but he doesn't bite. So I think that causes a lot of tension because in the Haitian community, people don't talk to people anyhow. For the most part, they're very respectful to people, and if they're respectful to you, they kind of in return want that same respect. Okay, no communication channels. Haitian news travels fast. It's actually quite amazing how fast news travels here in a country where the electricity issue is just ridiculous. Um, they're always on the internet. They're always looking up news. And one of the most popular ways for them to know about something is YouTube. Once something has been broadcasted, the people they just drop a copy on YouTube, and many people, later in the day when they get um, electricity or when they get a chance to charge their phones, they do watch it. The radio is the most commonly used form of communication besides the telephone, of course, because simply electricity, as I mentioned before, is an issue here, and the TV isn't really reliable. If you only know that you're going to get electricity for about 3 hours a day, and that's later on in the day, you can't really wait around until then if you want to know about something. If you want to know something right away, you just kind of have to listen to the radio. Um, and the only foreign language issue is that the parents they don't understand English, and I forgot to add also French. There are many parents here who don't understand French. However, I do would like to add that Creole is somewhat similar to French because most of the words are the same. It's just the phrasing that's different, and some of the words are snipped. So, however, if French is the only language that you could communicate with them with, then I feel like they would understand you. They won't be able to communicate back. And that's kind of where I kind of stand. I do understand French a lot. However, putting the words together and trying to have a conversation with somebody is just probably not it's probably not something that I will be able to do. And if I do try it, it would be very broken and very wrongfully spoken. People in the community they get news by word of mouth from the school. That's one of the things here that I really find amazing is that in a country that doesn't have electricity all the time, news really travels fast by word of mouth. And one example I can give is that one day we were looking for one of my students' parents, and we called and we couldn't find them, but we told the security guard, and before you know it, minutes later, the parent just came, to the gate, wanting to know why we needed him. No community groups. We don't have any community groups besides the PTA, which the PTA really doesn't do much anyway, because the head of school kind of want to separate the the school from the parents. So the only thing that the PTA is responsible for is the annual parent gala that they have here. Other than that, there's nothing else. We don't have anyone writing policies for us. It's just us teachers that get together to create the curriculum for our grade levels. As I've stated before, we are supported through donations, and the students, they don't pay for their education. We do, however, pay Haitian taxes on the income of the employees that work here. No leadership. One of the leaders, and I'm going to touch briefly on this, that lives in the community. He's a 75-year-old gardener, and he also works for the school, and he has a second grade education. However, he's a leader because he owns a lot of land. So, like the old saying, when you have land, it's considered wealth. So a lot of the people look to him um, as someone that they can confide in or someone that they can talk to about their problems. And he's very, very well regarded here in his community. We also have another community leader. He is a doctor, but he doesn't live right in this community. He lives in town. So he's a pediatrics doctor, and his daughter attends school here. We also have the education minister. She floats by from time to time because she is trying to help us get credentials to be a certified Haitian school. At our school, we only have one head of school, so one principal, and a pedagogy coach. Okay, so no community leaders characteristics. The 75-year-old community leader that I spoke of in the last slide, he does help his community, but not with all issues, of course, because he has a second grade education, so there are certain things that he really can't help them do when it comes to reading and writing. However, he is a wise older guy that can give some really good advice and he really keeps up with telling his neighborhood or his neighbors that the value of their land increases and what it could be sold for. I don't believe that he knows much of what's happening outside of his community. He does have many friends. He does have many friends, but I doubt that he really knows what's happening outside the community. Maybe if something drastic happens and, it's just something that's going around the whole country, then he might know of it. But I don't really think he has any communities or any community ties with any other place. Okay, no economic conditions. The community where my school is one of the poorest communities in Haiti, which is why the foundation decided to invest in the people here. Um, As far as agriculture is concerned, the community is not located in an area that can provide crops in quantities. It's pretty dry. It's like a desert, but that's just kind of how Haiti is. It's a really big rock, which is what the word Haiti means. There's mountains everywhere. There's it's about, I would say, 75% tropical and 25% desert. So it just so happens that where we live at, it's like a desert. However, things do grow here. They do grow here. So transportation is really not consistent simply because I would consider it to be a private entity. You buy a van or you buy a bus and you just decide, okay, hey, I'm just going to pick up people for money. It's not really like a set schedule, or they're not bus stops where you wait and then there's a time for the bus to come. Most people are unemployed here, and if they are employed, they're making about $150 a month. Shocking, right? How could someone live off of $150 a month? That is, to me, every time I just hear that, it's just really shocking to me. But people are raising their families on this. They are really, they're really doing it with $150 a month. The community doesn't have any stores nearby, and you would need to drive about 10 minutes into town to get things that you need. The land use is for residential purposes, and the value of the property has increased, like I mentioned before, since the building of the school. There are no there are no district business offices in the community. No political structure. We cannot separate politics from education. We cannot. It's with the politics that we can structure education to fit the need of a growing society. I believe that the community should have a say in their children's education, and it's through politics that it can be done. For me, because I work in Haiti, funding for our school doesn't come from the government of Haiti. It's solely based on donations. We don't have any grants, and we're somewhat freestanding with our own vision and action. No social tensions. There is not very much interracial confrontations because there are not very many people here at the school from different countries. There's just a handful of people here from different countries. But one thing that I've witnessed before, I don't know if you would consider this interracial confrontation, but I've witnessed the head of school just, talking very disrespectfully to his Haitian subordinates, and just scolding them, and it's just certain things that you just wouldn't necessarily see maybe in the States. I have seen that being done here, so that could serve as one example. Thank goodness there are no gangs, but there are cliques. When people don't have anything to do, they don't have jobs, so it's like they kind of always gather together. I don't know, they make music or whatever it is that they do to pass their day on. So there are cliques. And yes, discrimination is very big here, even amongst the Haitian people. And I feel like it's the Haitian people that are even worse at it. I mean, some of the visitors that we have coming through, or the tourists that we have coming through here, they are very, they just their interaction is not very welcoming. But you do find a lot of people that are very welcoming when they come here. Like from the States or from France, or from Canada, they are very welcoming. They are very open to knowing and learning about Haiti, and appreciating the people and helping the people. Um, the causes, many people here in Haiti are always competing with one another. Although they are from the same financial hardship, they make it a point to show that they are above everyone else. Um, but the racial discrimination stems from lighter skinned Haitians that look almost white, or they are white, like they literally look white. They humiliate the darker Haitians because a lot of times the poorer Haitians are dark. So in Haiti, skin color range from white to as dark as you can possibly be as a human. Um, and it's simply because we are just a big group, a big mixed group of people. However, we do have mostly black people here, but we are a mixed group of people. Extra sources of information, school records. Like I mentioned before, we're trying to get our credentials. We don't really have school records in place, although we've been around for about 8 years because the school was built right after the earthquake in 2010, but we don't really have school records. Questionnaires to pupils. We definitely need to do that. We definitely need to do that. It'll be really beneficial for us to hear their thoughts on things. City directory, don't have that. Most of the time, if you need to get somebody's number, you kind of call around and you ask for it. Or if you're driving by or walking by some type of establishment, you see the number, and that's how you get that. Telephone book, no telephone book. Census Bureau, there's no Census Bureau here. There's no Chamber of Commerce here. Minutes of school board meetings, none of that here. We only have the head of the school, the principal. Power structures, there's only one person that makes all decisions for the school, like I mentioned, and that one person is the head of the school. He makes all the decisions. We do have a pedagogy coach. However, the head of the school, he normally just goes over her head and makes decisions without her knowing. The people that would top the head of the school would be the owners. Other than that, there's not really a hierarchy. Donors don't have much to say either, simply because they're donating to the cause. You see something, you donate to it. It's not like you can really try to change stuff. You're donating because you see what you like and you want to donate to it. Okay, so no multicultural issues. I believe that the leaders of our schools, they don't quite understand the culture of the community they serve, which is a huge problem because there's a lack of understanding of the people. When working in a different country, you have to learn about the people, and you have to understand their needs and how to handle situations involving them without making them feel incompetent or useless, especially in a developing country like Haiti, where people are pretty fragile. Our head of the school is a French guy. So one example that I could use of a multicultural issue is that Carnival is not a big celebration for him. He doesn't see it as a big celebration, but in Haiti, it is a national celebration, as it is in most of the Caribbean islands. Schools are not in session during Carnival. So that's an example of a multicultural issue of, him not seeing the value of what Haitians see. So no power structures. I know for certain that one of the owners of the school has ties to the Haitian government, and he's the CEO of one of the largest makeup producing companies in France. So I know that because he has that connection, that there's definitely power structure there somehow. I don't really know quite how, but I know because he he is friends with the former president, so he has some type of tie to the government. So influence decisions through rewards and punishments. With this, it's kind of funny that this is even being mentioned because this is one of the things that I've been having a difficult time understanding working here. The kids, because I've worked in the States, I've worked in schools in the States before, and the things that the kids get away with here is like the kids can get away with murder here, and their parents will never be called. And after 2 seconds, they're right back in the class, and I've never really had to deal with a situation or had to deal with a school where parents are not, they're not called for things that their kids do. And if we have that relationship with the parents and the community, then the children's behavior would definitely change. Simply because they would know that, okay, if I do this, I'm going to get in trouble. They're going to call my parents, and I don't want that. So I'm going to try my best to be on my behavior. But it's kind of like when the kids come here, they just think it's a free for all and they just do as they please, and it's kind of hard to kind of whip them out of that. Although, yes, in my classroom, I'm very strict and I demand the best behavior from each and every one of them. So my kids are a bit structured, they're a bit more structured than the upper grades, who they know, hey, I can do whatever I want and nothing's going to happen. So I would hope that we one day can fix that. Um, so the punishment aspect of it, I wish that one day we could really just, get together and develop a plan for behavior. Schools must learn to live with situation. We do. A lot of the situations that go on outside the school, there's a lot of poverty outside the school, and we've learned to live with that. We know that okay, we may not be able to feed the mom and the dads every day, but however, the three children that attend the school, at least they get fed 2 times a day. They get water as much as they want, and they're in a safe environment where they can learn. The best protection against power structure pressures on financial and other decisions is to be proactive, have a well planned, carefully implemented program in a school community relation. And I totally agree with that. And I just hope that one day, as I mentioned, that we can definitely do that because we definitely need a school community relation. We don't have it. And I believe that because we don't have it, the school isn't getting the most out of our mission. If our mission is here, we cannot only just cater to the kids because the kids they have relations with their families. They have relations with their neighborhood. They have relations with the people in their community. So we definitely need to work on the school community relation. Okay, measuring public opinion. Many people want their children to attend the school because their children will be learning both in English and in French. Not to mention, it's free with free meals. And many people don't believe um, in this type of education system where the parent just, kind of has to close his eyes and just send his kid off to the school and don't hear nothing about it, don't get any homework, don't get any testing. So a lot of parents, they decided, okay, I'm going to put my child out of here and I'm going to put them in a private school where I can be actively involved in their education. Our school needs to participate with the community more so that we can have a public opinion. We don't really have a public opinion. The only public opinion that we have is that it's a free school with free meals. Granted, I'm very grateful to work here. I'm very grateful to work with my kids. I absolutely love my kids and I absolutely love the school. However, we really do need to reach our community. And I will never stop saying that until I leave this school. And even after I leave this school, I will continue to say the same thing that this community needs our support. And we need to have a public opinion that's more than just, oh, it's just a free school. Oh, it's just, we need to have a public opinion that says, oh, wow, like, the kids that go to this school, they're actually planting trees. We don't really have very many trees in this area, but they're planting trees and they're watering it and they're taking care of them and they're trying to make our community look better. They're picking up trash. That's the kind of public opinion that I want. I want people to develop a positive public opinion and not something that's like, oh, okay, it's free. All right, it's free, they get free food, and that's it. No, that we need to develop that, and that requires us to have ties with the community. Okay, public opinion survey. The public opinion is very important. Like I said, I believe that parent concerns and community concerns will help us grow as a unit. We definitely need to get surveys out there so that we can get some ideas of what the community thinks of us, and if they agree with the vision that we have for the kids of the community and for the future of the community. So this is a picture of my classroom. I just wanted to share that. As you know, I'm working in Haiti, and I just wanted to show how beautiful my classroom is. I didn't take a picture of the inside, but this is just the outside. So my classroom is to the left, and the other classroom is to the right. And you will see a similar picture like this if you were to look up the school. I'm standing right behind the administrator's building, and yeah, so that's kindergarten, and to the back right there you see that's pre-K. That's pre-K class. All right, and these are my references. Feel free to click on the links if you can. I doubt that you can, but copy the links down if you have questions that I probably didn't talk about, things that I didn't talk about, or if you have questions on your own, you can definitely get information from these websites.